Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. Holly Shields here for Kalkine TV, welcoming you all to another edition of Executive Corner Expert Talks. The show where we bring to you industry leaders, successful business owners and market experts all under one roof to help you discover the latest economic insights. On today's show, we're joined by Matt Jones, Director of Tradie Web Guys, a company dedicated to improving the day-to-day running of trade-based businesses. Welcome to the show, Matt. It's a pleasure to have you with us. You've been featured on several major platforms and now it's our turn, so it's great to have you on. To kick things off, there are businesses that are great at what they do, but struggle when it comes to letting the marketplace know. How did this inspire you to be part of the solution and help businesses develop?
Yeah, I mean, I'm formerly a plumber, so I throw myself in the tradie basket, well, ex-tradie basket, I suppose. But working with these guys over the years, there's so many of them that are so great at doing what they do, but they just have problems telling the world about it. And so, you can be the best business owner in the world, but if you don't get your message out there, then you'll never make any money. So that sort of pushed us down the path of doing what we do today, which is essentially just helping trade businesses better promote themselves, better represent themselves, so they're a more reputable sort of online presence, represents the caliber of the business they are. Well, I mean, it's a stepping stone. Making money is usually the byproduct of a few things that need to fall into place. So it's not so much a flick the switch, make money situation. It's more about laying the foundations.
So that being said, you saw a gap in the market with respect to the digital presence or lack thereof of tradies and contractors?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, they were, as I say, I was at the time working in a role where we were essentially selling plumbers technology, and we just noticed these guys were spending huge amounts of money on this equipment and then not being able to install it because they weren't being able to sell it because they weren't marketing themselves properly. So we basically just I saw a gap there, and I thought this is a really good opportunity to help these guys promote themselves better. And one thing led to another. 10 years later, we're still going strong.
So tell me about the various solutions that Tradie Web Guys offers.
I mean, everything from websites, so everything really starts with the website in this day and age, and then from there, and that's what we did start with. We actually started just doing websites for plumbers, and then it really quickly grew into all trades, and then we would have businesses coming to us and asking for lead generation tools. So we ended up in the marketing space, and now we're a fully fledged digital marketing agency for trade businesses, and we do everything from websites, SEO, Google ads, and we're moving very heavily into the lead nurturing space, so email marketing and content creation and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's been an ongoing journey.
Yeah, and I noticed you also offer chatbots. You're really keeping businesses up to date with that.
Yeah, again, there's a whole ecosystem that comes into play there, and it's an ever-evolving ecosystem which keeps us on our toes and probably keeps them frustrated.
Fair enough. So which strategies would you say help your clients become better represented with improved businesses, processes, and systems?
One of the big things that we love to stress today, and with all this stuff that's happening with the Apple and Facebook debacle, and now and the Google conversation that's happening now, and essentially a lot of that power is being taken away from these huge businesses, and they're being put back in the hands of the business owner in a sense where they can really start leveraging their story better, and they can start communicating to their building their database. So one of our big focuses at the moment is helping guys develop their database and helping them communicate and re-engage their customers, which they may never have done in the past. So it's a bit of a paradigm shift from that traditional marketing churn and burn mentality where we're like, we need more leads, and we're sort of saying now, actually, maybe you should just look after the ones you've got.
Yeah, I guess it's better not to take everything on at once, but it seems like you're evolving with the market.
Gone after it. It's a pretty fast-moving space. So you've got to sort of stay in front of it or you get left behind.
Absolutely. And one thing I'm interested in, could you tell me a bit about your elevation program?
Yeah, I mean, the elevation program is essentially a way that we can bring all of the things that a business owner would need into one unique little bundle and dish it out over the course of a series of months so that they're not getting slugged with these individual packages, which they know they need, but they can't always afford. So it's sort of a boutique service which brings together a lot of the essentials, sets it all up, deploys it, runs it for them, and then at the end of the program, they're basically in a situation where they've got all the tools they need, and we can either continue working with them or they can go and carry it on themselves.
Right, so how tailored is it to each individual business?
It's very tailored. I mean, the technology itself is, I mean, the tools are the same, but for each business, it's very different. So different search engine marketing campaigns, different email marketing campaigns, different lists, different types of communications, different industries, different verticals, different products, so on and so forth. So there's always, although a lot of them can be similar, they're all very different. Right,
and are you looking at all to expand to other industries apart from the trades?
No, not really. That's our niche, and so we're growing year after year, and we're sort of moving into some other markets overseas at the moment. So that's sort of our growth potential.
That's really good to hear. Now, where would you say you see the business heading in the next year or two?
I can tell you exactly because I just did my strategic plan yesterday.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, as I say, we're in a growth stage, so we're really the focus for the next year is largely on team building, and so we're bringing in some a lot of leadership and management positions for sales roles, project management, customer support, general managers, and those kind of things, and then with that, obviously, there needs to be a lot of work going on in the background to facilitate that sort of growth. So. That's the big focus. It's the team building is the focus at the moment. Everything else sort of falls in place.
Definitely. So I imagine you've seen your team expand quite a lot over the years.
Yeah, we have. It's forever growing. I found out yesterday we had a 63% growth on the year before, so it's not bad in a global crisis. Although we didn't hit our targets, we still did pretty well. So it's yeah, the team is growing a lot. The team are located all over the world. The whole team is remote now, which is great. So we shut down all of our offices. And so everyone operates remotely, which we've been doing for years. So when all this whole pandemic kicked in, we were sort of already doing it anyway, which was kind of funny.
Just riding the wave?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I feel like we started it.
Well, fair enough. That sounds very promising, especially with your future expansion. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And on that note, it's just about time to wrap up, but I've got to say thanks so much for your time today, Matt. It's been great to hear insights. And thanks for your time as well, viewers. Stay tuned for more live updates. As we say here, stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine.